Hello and welcome to the Regiment Radio podcast. And here in this session today, I do have multiple guests which are part of the regiment, and I'd like to thank all of them for being in here. I think it's a great opportunity for us to share with everybody that's part of our regiment, a little bit about you guys, um, also about myself, just to kind of start out with. And I think it'll also be a good opportunity for us to, if you're part of a squad or if you're part of a platoon, perhaps that you'd be able to share your experience. And then for those guys that are also kind of new or maybe joining into the regiment, it would be um, a good idea for them to listen and to learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we manage things around here in the regiment, right? So, um, I just like to start off with, thanking all of you guys for being part of this radio podcast. And I think for now, I just want to give a brief introduction into what we do and the reason why this podcast got started. I think this podcast was a good idea for us because we wanted to put ourselves out there. We wanted to make sure that um, everybody in the regiment has a voice and they're able to express that voice, and that we're all able to share ideas and share experiences as well. And I think everybody here has experiences. And the regiment, for a little more context, the regiment was actually started back last year, sometime around July. And so far, we've grown from just a handful of members to now about 350 or so members, right? And I think our goal is to keep growing and to grow into something even bigger than what we currently are. And I think the direction that we're heading to is going to definitely, help us pave the way along with partnerships and other things that are currently in the works. But this is just one of those things that I think will help us get our message out there and to touch, you know, to touch more people so that they can come and be part of our beloved regiment, as we say. So, in the meantime, I would like to have our guests to introduce themselves. So I'll start with Kenny, and then um, we'll go to Country, and then we'll go to Lemon, and then we'll go to Bubba Rice. But in the meantime, Kenny, would you like to give a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah, hey, I'm Killer Kenny. I'm squad lead for Last Resort. I've been here since day three, and it has been a blast. It's been great seeing the regiment grow. All the teamwork and collaboration, just having a good time. A little bit of fuckery here and there, you know. It's been fun. I like it.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Kenny. Um, Country?
Hey, I'm combat country. I've been in the regiment for I don't know how long, a little while now. But I am team lead for Lux, and I yeah, just have fun. I like enjoy it, just playing around, having a group of people to play with, and fly some helicopters and stuff. That's what we do in Lux.
Awesome. Thank you, Country. Lemon?
Yeah, hi, my name's Lemon Sweet. I am squad lead, the second in command of the Ward Verbals. And yeah, the regiment. I've been a part of it for I don't know, 6 months, 8 months or something now. And yeah, it's been fun watching it grow. Teamwork's great, you know. We win a lot of matches and it's exciting to see it keep growing.
Absolutely. Thanks, Lemon. Bubba?
Hey guys, I am Bubba Redrice. I have probably been a member of the regiment since I'd say around August or September. But my brother Noodles has been playing with you guys since he's up to like day seven. So I've had the fucking honor of getting to play with everybody, get to know everybody for a while now, and it's by far one of the most fun communities I've been a part of. It's been really fun to just watch it grow, watch the teamwork. As I said, the fuckery is just it's outstanding. There's never a dull moment.
Awesome. I like the sound of that. And I think we can go ahead and start sort of moving into some questions. I think it'd be nice if we can um, get some questions out there. And if you guys feel like you want to you want to respond to this question, that'd be great. That way we can you know have some discussion going on. Um, but overall, I think we can go ahead and start moving into community involvement, right? So, just a couple of questions out there that I'd like to throw out. Um, you know, and this is just everybody can have express their opinion on this, but the question is, um, right now we don't have, many big missions going on or lined up right now, and I think those things are coming down the line. But um, what do you think what do you think keeps everything in the regiment together? What do you think what do you think is the glue that keeps people in the regiment? What do you think is the glue that keeps people together here?
Is this just open to the everyone, or are you going to call
Yes,
out?
it's open to everyone.
Well, personally, for me, the reason I've stayed in and enjoy it is just it's better than playing with randoms, having a group of people that you know and get to know to play together with is way more enjoyable, especially when we can coordinate a small bit at least. And like, and always being able to, jump on and see, oh, who's playing right now? Let's join into their server and just go in and, it makes the game a lot more fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love the camaraderie. Activity is a really big thing. Like for new players, it's great to be able to get on and see like, oh, hey, somebody I know is on right now. Like that incentivizes me to join, you know? So activity is a big thing. All the community stuff that we do, game master missions, battle day on Friday night, uh, missions on Saturday, just keeps people uh, kind of excited to continue, It's a good time.
I would definitely say, I mean, I agree with everything you guys said. I mean, and there's proof to it is if you've ever been in a lobby when Order 66 is called, it's just that you know what happens. It's phenomenal.
It's
Yeah.
with the bullying is amazing.
Oh yeah, we could just join a public lobby and it's ours. There you don't get that without being a part of a community like this, and I think that's really hands down what
It's
kind of shines.
probably hated by a lot of
Well,
people
it's a
with the
game.
lobby.
It's a massive game that's pretty complicated, and it kind of demands a large scale teamwork. And so
Yeah,
like
exactly.
and so it's like
People to
especially for
actually
new
work with.
people, you can see like the potential in it, but you're not having a lot of fun if no one's working together. And something like the regiment really
Yeah,
turn into that.
before I joined the regiment, it was very often you join a server and no one's communicating. You probably got a bunch of console players on parties and stuff like that, or maybe PC players in Discord calls, whatever, uh, doing their own thing, and it there's no teamwork, and it is just a bunch of random people running around
It,
doing. It's almost Call
it
of Duty levels stupid,
yeah,
and
it quickly gets discouraging, and you want to play and you pick
you
it
just
up, but then
go
it's
to a
like,
different server and
fuck, I'm putting this down because I'm not having
yeah.
fun. But when you get with a large enough team of people that you can consistently play with, it really changes the game.
I'd love to comment on the day that I joined. Warlord was at military hospital, and there was like 30 people around him, and we were just trying to get people together and rock to bases together. We weren't entirely like completely organized then. It was a little bit chaotic, having to get vehicles for everybody. Everybody's full in these vehicles, and you drive 10 feet down the road and get ambushed, and then you're waiting at an objective for everybody to come through, And like what kept me with the group after that kind of chaotic introduction, was that I saw the ambitions for it, and I saw what could become something as cool as it is today, It's been a good time.
Speaking of, you said, your first time playing with the regiment. I remember my first time playing with as well, where again, military hospital, we're using it kind of as a base of operations, and Warlord was hardly even playing. He was just sitting there directing everybody, and it made it a lot of fun because he was just giving us all missions and specific objectives. This squad go here. I was actually with you, Kenny. I remember originally I wasn't in your squad, but he paired me with you and your boys, and I was running around with y'all doing specific missions that he assigned to us, and that's my favorite time to play when we are very organized in that sense. Yeah, and then I found Jeb and them because I love helicoptering and pilots. I joined Deluxe.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's great to find your clique, like
Oh
find
yeah,
where you feel you belong, and um, there's always room for change. But like, I think everybody here is kind of happy with where they're at, and that's a great thing. But there's definitely room for change if necessary, but finding where you belong is one of the most important things with something like this.
Yeah, you're gonna see like personalities start to just like gravitate here and there and that's just natural. It's a good thing, and like squads forming around that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that's one of the blessings of our group is that we have those squads that allow you to kind of be with like-minded people, but you can all still operate on a grand scale, really accomplish something you really wouldn't be able to if you had just small squad tactics and you were trying to run in a pub lobby. So it's definitely a major perk of having a group like this that you get to just kind of interact with a bunch of different people, but you can narrow it down if you want to.
Right, right. It's the exciting thing about watching the regiment grow too. Is I started back when we really did only have like you know 30 members total, and maybe 12 of those people running regularly. Up to now where we can take over almost an entire match. Um, yeah, exactly. Yeah, for the most part, if we have enough people on.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you guys. It's been just great having, you know, this regiment become something that I actually like, when we first started, it was more like a bunch of us playing together. And honestly, like the reason why this came about, or the reason why this came about, like with what we're doing is and how we do things is because like I was playing with randoms, same as everybody, playing with randoms, and it was truly annoying that nobody would work together. Like you're talking about a milsim, you're talking about a game that's specifically, oriented towards a milsim, category type of game, and like nobody communicates. There's like people that want to take charge, in situations, and like everybody's just, getting on each other's back and, screaming at each other, and like there's no coordination at all, and there's a lot of stuff, and that all got to me. And I was like, you know what? Um, I've heard of other milsims, I've heard of other groups out there because I've heard feedback from various people like say, we're not a milsim, we're like a hybrid in the sense. And I think that's where like, we are hybrid because we adopt many other aspects of a clan, but also small parts of a milsim, and then also more of a community aspect to it as well. So there's like different parts that are coming together, and that's what makes us, I think, very attractive and very special to a lot of people that see us play together, watch us coordinate, and basically, have this camaraderie, as Kenny says, right? So, um, I think,
Can I add something
go
real
ahead, go
quick?
ahead, go ahead.
What you said about us being a hybrid, we're not like fully milsim. I agree so much on that because before I found the regiment, I had tried being part of a another. I won't name any names or anything. There was another. It was for Arma 3, not Arma Forger, but I was part of another community there, and I've seen a few others around, and the way they operate, where they are just such hard asses. I
Hmm.
get like, yeah, it's military, right? You want to be, but it takes all the fun out of it when you cannot fucking
You
you
can't
can't.
forget it's a video game, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
and they're like so
Right.
serious. There was in the one I was on, it was for Arma 3, and you had to go through like so many hours of pilot training and get recommended into a pilot role by someone already in the server and do all this bullshit. You have to wait for an opening, and I was like, this is no fun. This takes all fun. And on top of all that, once you went through all that bullshit that I was never even able to get into the squadron for pilots, you had to if as soon as you friendly fired once, you could be taken out of that. So if you dropping cluster napalm munitions in the fucking jungles of Vietnam happen to kill one friendly, then you're in jeopardy of losing that pilot position that you might have spent a year in this fucking Discord server to get. And I'm
it's
like,
just like we would play
yeah,
bullshit.
little too fucking serious. But this is just so much better, honestly. But yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what I wanted.
Yeah, yeah, I want to piggyback on that to say I agree on all that. I wasn't a part of like any like of the Discord mill something like that, but I knew I wanted to be a part of a group for Arma, but I wasn't sure where to look, and I kind of scouted out some, and they all were kind of, you know, very no sir, yes sir, had people jogging around, and memorizing. So have their own Esprit decor that they had people memorizing and stuff, and it was just all nonsense. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want that. I know that, but where do you look? And I just kind of stumbled into this, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's maybe like the next part where we want to probably talk about. It's like, how did you stumble into this? Kenny, you want to start?
Well, I don't remember the day exactly, but I figure I was probably like playing solo. Um, yeah, I've got my buddy James and my squad. We usually tackle games like this together, but I figure I was prepping for him to like join the game because he just got the new Xbox and he was excited for it. So I figured, I'll hop in here early and see what I can do to help him out. And then I ran into you guys, and it was just honestly like first looks, it was really chaotic, unorganized, and like scary at first. And like I had my opinions, but I mean, simply just like day two, I just knew that I was really gonna enjoy it. Um, like straight from the get-go. Day one, I figured it was gonna be something, and whether I wanted to be a part of that or not, I was still deciding, but day two really just did it for me. And I'm so glad I got my buddy to join, and I'm so glad that we've grown to where we are now. It's really just been a fun experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say so. My whole start to the squad was when my brother, I at the time was just came home from work and he was like, dude, you got to hop on Arma. We'd been playing for a little bit with no luck at all, just joining random pubs and it just absolutely sucked. No one wanted to work together. A bunch of team killing, everybody playing Barbie. It was terrible. And it was the first time I've ever got on the game and had just an absolute blast from start to finish. Everybody working together. I kind of remember just being sold at the point when I think Kenny, we were actually with you, and we just probably it was a signal or something. We were pushing a point, and it just the teamwork was so effortless and perfect, but yet fun as hell that it just sold me completely. And since then, I just want to play as much as I can with everybody. It really is like it completely transforms the game to something else with this crew.
Yeah,
Respect.
that's awesome.
Respect, for sure. Um, Anybody else? So I think if Lemon and Country are good, then we can move on.
Yeah, I'm good. Got nothing
Okay,
more to add.
perfect.
Yeah, same.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, I think another part of this would be good if we can introduce like our squads. If I think for the most part, all of you guys are in a squad, right? Um, would you guys like to share what what some parts about your squad, some aspects about your squad, why you joined that squad, why you're part of that squad, uh, and so on?
Well, I've already gotten into Lux a little bit, but I'll just say I'm in Lux 1-1 squad. We are the best squad, and we're just we like to fly, and we are working on doing JTAC and Forward Observer type roles so that we can really just focus on just fire support, whether it's close air or artillery, mortars. Which I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'd have to talk to Jeff because I'm just team lead. I'm not squad lead, but I think we're doing mortars now. I'm not
Mm.
sure, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Jev Dog is our squad lead. I'm the team lead, and we are just air support, logistics to some extent, and now working on JTAC and Ford Observer.
Excellent.
Um, so I'm squad lead for Last Resort, like I said. Um, Bubba's in my squad as well. It's great to have Bubba and Noodle. Uh, Great bunch of guys. They're really good at detailing game master missions as well. It's good to have in the group. Um, we've been here for a while, so some of our members are more experienced. Um, I will say, seeing some of these other squads starting to sprout up, like it took me a long time to kind of get used to it because some of these newer squads that we have, like their squad leads are like PlayStation members. They've had the game for like maybe 2 months. Um, but at the same time, like who am I to judge? Like when I formed my squad, I had the game for probably like less time, maybe more. I couldn't say. And like look at where I am now. Um, so I'm really looking forward to see them grow, and I have seen them grow. The gerbils and the regulators, like throughout the games, like I feel like it's taken some time from my perspective. And like everybody's got good days and bad days, but I mean the work that they're putting in now, compared to like when they first started, it's looking good, you know. Um, it's really cool to see. But I mean, Last Resort like speaks for itself. Like you just take a peek at the map in any game that we're in Force, and you'll see the damage that we do. We have a good time. We collaborate with each other. We fuck around a little bit, but we get the work done. And we strategize. We take the paths that are less used. We like to flank around, cut off the enemy. Um, we definitely uh, take supplies with us. Um, try and just get shit done, I guess. It's a good time.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just as the another member of Last Resort, I'll pick up from there. It's. I mean, I was Noodles standing right next to me actually, and we were both talking about how like one of the things we loved about Last Resort and still love about it is we have fun, but we treat it like a Milsim. Like we everything is decisive, everything is quick. We are hitting hard and fast every single time, but again, still having fun while we do it. And it really does lend a bit more of just realism to it. I mean, I don't want to say that word for lack of a better term, I guess, but it's just really a great time. And I mean, I think Kenny said it beautifully. I mean, I know I sucked ass when I started, but it's been fun, really, just kind of growing and getting better with everybody, just kind of getting to understand how we all move, how we all act. Just it's a different thing, man. I've never really experienced it in a game, so like on a scale like this. So it's been a real blast being a part of Last Resort.
Glad to hear it. Yeah, it really has been fun. Getting to know everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm Lemon Sweet, right? I'm all part of the Ward Gerbils. Relatively new, actually, but we all kind of we all found ourselves just playing together a lot, like I don't know, 6 or 7, maybe 8 or 9 of us. And yeah, we were always. I was a part of another squad, but I won't say which one. But people just weren't on a lot and stuff. No squads that are in here, and so I was kind of like, man, I wish I was a part of a different group of guys that were just online and available more to play with. And so a bunch of us who, were kind of all in that same boat, or maybe weren't in squads, were like, hey, we're online together. We play really well together. We all take teamwork super seriously and kind of communication super seriously. And so we should squad up. And we had a little vote for who'd be squad lead. And that ended up being Jake. And yeah, it's been great. We've grown from 9 people to around 20 now, I think, maybe 21, 22 here soon, hopefully.
You guys were like the quickest squad that I'd seen grown, and that was cool and scary to see at the same time, you know?
It was cool, man. It was like, because we took teamwork just super seriously and communication super seriously. And every time there was a shortcoming, we'd address it internally, while being super friendly and approachable and never being mean or, getting on each other about anything. It's always, and we've kind of just grown as like a little family, a little family where everyone's pretty active and talking all the time, whether they're playing or not, and bullshitting and having fun. And we strike a really good balance of like, staying disciplined in the match and always having a clear objective and, but having a really good time while we do it. And communication super seriously. We're always talking through it. We're always coming up with little strategies, little game plans, and trying to execute them as best we can. Always staying together. That's another really big thing I think is why we've grown. Is it's easy to get lost or spawn somewhere else and get discouraged, especially if you're new and you're nervous to get on comms. And we're really, if the difference is moving in a hurry and pushing out to the next objective, or waiting for someone to kind of untuck themselves and get back, and rally with the rest of the squad, we'll wait and we'll be patient, we'll be friendly about it. And that really helps new players and people just, that maybe are in between what squad they want to be in, really help, you know, seal the deal for them. It really helps kind of, I don't say something funny like that, but something like that. But yeah, as far as what we do, we're mainly infantry focused, but we are working on growing as a platoon, and we could kind of change the way we operate at that point. We're kind of, I know there's other squads that are at the platoon level already, so we're really interested in doing kind of inter-regiment matches for training, or like if we get a large server, where it's 64 versus 64, we could potentially be one half or something of that fighting force if necessary.
I would
So
love
yeah,
that. We should plug the Patreon so we can get that to happen someday, you know?
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, please make that happen.
Because at this point, honestly, when it comes to matches in general, when there's enough of us on where we're 2/3, 3/4 of the team, it's really not a challenge. There might be matches that go slower, like last night, where the team is pretty good, but we're still better. And so it's like we're still pushing forward. It's just a little slower. And so it would be nice to, yeah, to really test ourselves in that way and see weak spots in strategy and teamwork and everything and find new strategies that we haven't seen before and things like that. And yeah, I think that's how we're going to grow the best, and then take that one step further and apply it to other Discord notes and things like that. I think that would be a lot of
Absolutely. Um, and I think just based off of what everybody shared, that kind of brings me back to another question. Like, do you guys think that newcomers, new people that join the game, just picked up the game, they've been playing for a couple of days. I think we've even picked up people that have been playing for like a day, like it's their first day, and then they're dragged,
Oh
they're
yeah.
they're recruited into the regiment, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
I have people on Lux that I know I have recruited on their first match they've ever played.
yeah, but like, what do you guys think about that? I mean, do you think that, newcomers
good
learn a
and
lot
bad,
more?
or not bad
Right.
necessarily, but like good in the sense that it's great that like the regiment is that exciting and you can just like instantly absorb people that are that fresh, but
Yeah.
also like you shouldn't hang your hat on that or get too excited about that, because the game is a huge time suck. The
Yeah.
matches could take 10 hours sometimes. Sometimes they could take 2.5 or an hour and a half. Other times they could take 10. And some people just don't have the time for that,
Hmm.
in their lives. And so they'll play it for a while. They want to be a part of the regiment. They like all of it. It's like, but it ultimately just doesn't work into their life, and you'll find them just slowly
Yeah.
fade away,
Well,
and that's okay. But you can't get too excited about those
it
those
it it
new
depends.
hires, so
Yeah,
to
like
speak.
it depends on what kind of gamers we're appealing to, because we do have casual gamers, we do have like gamers that are a little more serious about becoming part of something, and then there's us, definitely up in the higher category. Um, but yeah, I mean, it just depends on who we're basically dealing with. There's definitely like people, like I have friends that get on for like 3 hours, throughout the night. Sometimes they get every day. They get on every day. Sometimes they get on every other day. And I'll invite them to join us here in Arma, with the regiment, and they're not interested in it because they're casual. They're very casual. They don't take things to the level where we take it, to where like, okay, let's work together, let's do this. And you know, uh, the other point that I wanted to make was the learning curve, which was where I wanted to drive the question was, if you got a newcomer, somebody that just joins, what do you guys think about the learning curve versus them just playing games by themselves and then, having that gaming experience in there versus joining the regiment and then having that learning experience and that learning curve in the regiment?
I mean, it's steep, right? And it's only getting steeper with every update, as it transitions into Arma 4 proper, Um, so yeah, especially for new console players, it could be super overwhelming.
Mm.
That'd be a big reason why. And then the regiment itself could be overwhelming, like someone else pointed out, earlier. It's just the onboarding process with all that. You just got to be super patient and friendly, you know,
I I
just understanding.
agree, but anyone who has any history with Neil Sims though, and has played on like Arma 3, like maybe it's their first time on Arma Forger, but they've played Arma 3, like as we mentioned earlier, talking about this being more of a hybrid milsim type thing. I think this is much less, what was the word you used, overwhelming than pretty much any other community you
That's
might
true.
get into.
No doubt, no doubt. And that's why I was quick to jump in, because that's what I recognized about it. I saw that as it's a, even still, like if you're, I was kind of, assuming more of like the COD player as the newbie, like, yeah, if you come from Arma 3, sure,
Well, if you're
you're going to be
coming from
pretty,
PlayStation, of course, their
but if
PlayStation's
you're,
flooded with Call of Duty. I come from a Call of Duty background as well, and but even before that, back in the original Xbox, it was Operation Flashpoint, Cold War Crisis, and then I think the Arma series came out after, or not at the same, if not at the same time,
yeah.
and going from Call of Duty to Arma, it's like a whole nother world.
Yeah, see, I'm fortunate in that I mean I never came from PC, so I never played any of the previous titles. But I've always been on console, but I've always been aware of them and wanted to play them. So I was like,
Oh,
oh,
for
got really
sure,
excited
yeah.
when it came to Xbox. But I don't I don't assume most people in my category who haven't played the previous titles, I don't assume most people are even aware of them or watch some videos. And so they don't even have, like my friend Chowda, who's into the game now. He didn't even have a rough idea of what it was. And it took. I mean, he played Battlefield in some games, but trying to explain the level of the layers of complexity on top of that game still, it's a bit difficult. You have to see it and play it for a while to really understand it, you know.
Right.
Um, and for yeah, like I said, if you don't have a Discord like us, it could be pretty overwhelming,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely came from the console stream as well. So I never really had the chance to play any of the other titles, but I was somebody who did to kind of keep up with all of it. So I was always interested. But so once like Insurgency came out on the Xbox, that was kind of my start into Milsim. So I will say just it's absolute testament. The regiment definitely accelerated my learning curve. I'll tell you that. Like I had I kind of sucked ass before I started playing with everybody, and then once I
Same,
got to really get
same.
in with everybody, it really kind of showed you really how to play the game properly, taught you a little bit of patience, and you really had to have fun with it.
And that was like the defining factor for me when like, because I was the same as him. I didn't understand hardly, in my first couple matches with these guys, everyone was like, when I had any questions or, trying to troubleshoot anything, everyone was super patient with me and took the time to like explain it to me clearly, and and didn't seem
I will say
this is the right group of cats for sure.
with that, yes, the regiment. I don't think there's anyone I can even think of on the regiment, aside from maybe Melly, who wouldn't be willing to just sit down and teach you how to play the game, start to finish, like everything you need to know.
Exactly.
Melly might just call you stupid, but then also
No, he's an old crow. Yeah, he's the exception, but everyone else is just
yeah,
super patient. It's a big one is like I could think of as like how to teleport to the radio backpack.
right.
It's kind of a long explanation, and it usually requires a couple of attempts of explaining it as someone learns to sort it out. And everyone I've heard that's explained it to a newbie has been like really patient in that, and it's like I can see people just get frustrated really quick.
No doubt.
But no one.
I've trained several people who came from Call of Duty and knew nothing of milsims and taught them a bit of how to play. Now, a lot of that was before I even joined the regiment, so I don't know where they're at now.
It takes not always, there's going to be Call of Duty kids that stay with it because it's just so big and fun and sandboxy. But for the most part, even if they're young, it does attract someone with a certain level of maturity, which is nice. Usually, there's exceptions to everything, but
It's that urge for less runny gunny bullshit,
more teamwork.
more teamwork, more actual strategy. Like
Yeah.
people that enjoy games like Age of Empires, Sid Meier's, I think, and then also play games like Call of Duty, I think would really enjoy the regiment.
And you can learn things in Arma too, like learning how to use the compass and the protractor. That's like how on the map, that's how you really do that, which is super cool, and calling coordinates or fires and stuff like that. It's fascinating that's all built into a game. Whereas
It really is, yeah.
some dork on a couch and learn how to do these things,
Yeah, like you could become an at-home like marksman if you understand how to use the scopes in this game. It's
100%.
I have a couple of the guns
neophyte
in this
in a
game for
sense,
real,
but
and it's fairly accurate to real steel. I mean, it's pretty
it's a true
impressive.
simulator. It's like a flight sim or anything else. It's a true simulator. And I really think the conflict mode is kind of off topic a little, but I think the conflict mode is like the perfect blend of like, what the milsim itself has to offer mixed with like
I'll,
what a game like Battlefield has to offer.
I'll tell you, I actually have counterpoints, I guess, in a way to conflict because I like conflict. I love Arma, but they need to do some work on conflict, especially with the latest 1.3 update. With now all the real fun stuff is Leroy. Baby, I'm talking. Go.
Yeah, it's hard to establish like squads and roles within squads now because everything's.
Yeah, well, all the mortars, the rocket pods, all the really fun stuff is such high rank now.
Yeah.
And that's probably fine for the majority of people, randoms getting in and just playing solo. But for us, the problem I have realized is that we're too damn good. And last time I played, we played like 3 matches, and I could not get to captain before we won any of the matches.
Yeah,
I could not get high enough
I know what you
rank.
mean.
I was playing from the beginning of the match, 4 or 5 hour matches sometimes. It just capturing all the bases, trying to rank up, and just couldn't get up high enough and use the fun stuff because we ended the match too quickly. But,
I've seen, especially with the way you capture bases now, and how you can't spawn on the base when it's being captured.
Yeah.
Teams that are organized run over the map much quicker now, where I've had games take an hour and a half, which was, almost unthinkable in previous,
But I think
and this is against good teams too.
Warlord was here with us the last match I played like this. I literally asked them at the beginning of the match, "Can we make this one last? Can we just
play for a while?"
And he was ordering everyone, don't fucking have the main objectives. Just let the
Right, right.
Americans fucking play for a while.
It's
And
especially frustrating when the server crashes after the end of every match too. It's hard to
yeah,
get any continuity
I
there.
what I think they need to do a conflict, because that was the start of my point here, is how they can fix conflict. Have ranks last, like have them
Hmm.
service tab and last more than one match. Maybe have like 24-hour ranks or some shit. Um, or do
Like
or
on a
like
particular
maybe,
server.
yes, on a particular server, have your rank last for maybe like 24 hours,
It's not
right?
a bad idea at all. Yeah.
Um, and or maybe just make matches last fucking longer. Make there be more main objectives, something. Which that could be solved just by playing on community servers that have different setups, I'm sure. But
Yeah, it's going to require new maps, I think, on
yeah,
official at
bigger
some point.
maps.
When they get
If
to
we,
128,
I know,
that's going to go too quick to have
oh yeah,
64 people for 5 objectives
I
on a
know a
map
lot of
that size.
y'all have never played Arma 3, but the map Altis from Arma 3 would within Armor Reforger with the new. I don't know if there's a computer that can handle the size of that, but that map is fucking massive. It's like
Right,
4 or 5 times the size of Edron.
Damn.
right.
It is huge, and that would I would love to play on that map. And I might be
Mm.
exaggerating the size a little bit, but it's a big map.
Well, it's definitely the game's definitely changed quite a bit, and I think that hopefully there'll be more updates that come out, which will fix things rather than break things.
I
Just
see
in
what
the
the devs are
Call of
trying
Duty.
to do, like
Yeah, yeah,
they're trying to because there was such a problem with newbies just barbieing out, like other people have mentioned, just
yeah.
fucking the resources, and so no one would want to spawn an
Yeah.
armory, so there's no
I'm fine with
radios,
that.
and
I'm
so
fine with the rank. Hot
I
take. I'm
find it
fine with
fine, but it's
I,
also
rank-based
frustrating.
equipment in the armory.
yeah, I agree with that take. It's fine. It's better than letting everybody play Barbie, but it can be really frustrating.
Yeah.
Because
So
like when
the
there's enough of
shutdowns are
us,
so irritating.
the shutdowns are brutal, but when
Yeah.
there's enough of us where like it's like we're ready to go, we've got most of the team.
I
It's
love
like then I
fresh
want to
start
like set up like,
games.
okay, you're my sniper, you're my guy on the heavy machine gun, so I want to break, set roles within my squad, and it's like, oh, I can't really do that because everyone's stuck to RPGs and fucking
Exactly.
AKs,
And in Lux, where what we try to do is piloting and stuff, I really want to get those rocket pod helicopters and be able to call in fire support for y'all, have our
immediately.
guys like we're talking about
Right,
JTAC go
right.
around, because that's what we want to do, right? Is have way we want to do our JTAC is have Lux split up within all of your squads, have like one member with each of y'all communicating with your squad lead or whoever's
That
on.
would be ideal. That would be a perfect scenario for you guys, in
Yes,
my
and then
opinion.
have 1 or 2 guys in rocket pod helicopters. Our JTAC guys will call in, or if we're doing mortars, can actually do the math on the ground and forward observe, watch where the mortars are hitting, make adjustments. All that would be great. But currently, we're not able to rank up fast enough to even fucking get those in and be able to do
So you
that.
got to be like driving Logi trucks around to try to rank up super fast,
Well,
which,
they've cut
yeah.
Logi down to such a point that it's not even fucking viable. I
Uh,
don't even do Logi anymore because I just can't get ranked that way. You get a sliver of supplies for everything you get. The only way to really rank up that high, I think, in the time that a match lasts, is if you are on at the very beginning capturing all the AI bases.
Mhm.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, pretty
Well,
much.
And even
the
then,
way we're
if you
gonna,
miss
in order,
if you miss like one base, you're probably not getting to captain.
right, totally. The
One of
way
my
we're gonna have to solve
perspectives.
that is to try to do this on private servers, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could work. I just really wish that shutdowns didn't exist because as a regiment, especially when we get on in in numbers, like we're just jumping into an existing game and trying to fix what's broken.
With
Whereas
hope
in a
of
fresh
starting
start
early,
game, we can get super organized and
hmm
like divide and conquer, and it's just irritating because like that was one of my favorite parts about this group is being able to. I mean, we still can collaborate on different fronts, whatnot. It's not too different, but
No, but it's hard to start with like a strong, like cohesive
yeah,
foundation, where you're
yeah,
just like from the get-go. We did it finally, I don't know, like last week or 2 weeks ago. When we started, we just jumped into a match and it was literally just started, and
It
it
still
was so nice
happens every now and
because
then. It's
yeah, but we ran it and it went. It lasted maybe 2 hours.
yeah.
Because with the new update,
So, basically, at this point, I think we're nearing, we're nearing our end of the
Time.
podcast. Yeah, but I really appreciate all of you guys. I think I would like to kind of have, a couple of last questions on here. First of all, what advice would you give to new members that are part of the regiment, that have just joined the regiment? What kind of advice would you give to them?
Most important piece of advice I can give is to join Lux Squad. What? Be above the rest, literally. No, but join a squad. Join a squad because you don't have to join one right off the bat, but squads in the regiment are great, I think.
I was going to say the exact same thing. If you see yourself playing even remotely consistently, like a couple days a week,
Right.
where you've got the time for it, seriously consider joining a squad because it makes the experience that much better. The community's that much stronger, the camaraderie is that much stronger, and
Poke
it's
around a
just a
little
better.
bit, ask
Yeah, poke
around,
around, ask around, jump from squad to squad a little bit. It's
I
okay.
would say find out, talk to all people from as many squads as you can, and just find out the different play styles because I think most of the squads are pretty similar, but everyone kind of has their own play style, and just find what you think would keep you interested in the game long.
And you're going to jive with different personalities better and all that. It's like everything. Yeah, it's just a lot to it. But yeah, play with different squad members. Um, and to see what fits you. If you like piloting, join Lux. And if you
Everyone heard that.
are
Great.
into
Also,
logistics, hit me up
join
because we need
Lux.
logistics guys real bad.
Last Resort rolls with supplies to most of their bases. So I'm just saying.
No, and we've got
Join
that. I
Last
should say we
Resort.
don't have it. Yeah. We need a few. We need 6.
Must be this just became a
We
thing.
need 6 logic guys. Anyway.
I would love to plug my Game Master mission. And unfortunately, I'm going on a vacation this weekend, so I won't be here. But
Unfortunately, you crazy boy.
it's very fortunate. I don't get to see my family that often, but I
Please
love
plug
them.
it
It's
though.
good to see them. But next Saturday, not this one, I'm hoping to run my mission, and it's going to be a continuation of Outpost Resort, one that we did a few weeks back, where that was just a complete defensive point at Suka Point, beach invasion by AI and stuff like that. This one is going to be defensive again, but it's going to operate entirely in the northern part of the map. We're going to cut off Mo and Tyrone, and pretty much anything above that is within operating range, and they're defensive points, ambush points. It's really just airfield defense. It's going to be a blast.
That sounds
Come
really
check
cool.
it out. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it sounds gonna be a good time.
Yeah, whenever I do the Game Master missions, y'all know I do I don't do missions really. I do scenarios and games where we'll do the last man standing as I did in the last one, or POW escape, or the convoy. I guess the convoy is a little bit of a mission, but yeah, y'all.
Yeah.
Every time I do one, that's what it'll be, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've had some ideas of trying to do some recreations
loved
of some
your
real life
idea,
events.
Bubba.
Yeah,
I
I think
would
that would
love
be a
to
fun
see that.
Memorial Day event. If anybody hasn't seen it, if you don't know about it, go check out the attack on Cop Keating. It's a hell of a story. I really think it'd be a pretty fun event to run. Show a little respects before we do it. So, yeah, it's if anybody wants to see that, let me know. Can make it happen.
Yeah, I'd be interested in
For
that.
sure.
That'd be really, if I'm available, of course, with work. But yeah, I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, we'll
Could be
try to
fun.
line it up
Creative
for a
and
weekend.
really
Everybody's
interesting.
around.
Yeah, in general though, I think it's a great, that's creative and smart, and I think things like that are cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely.
So, I do want to put something in, into the podcast before we wrap up as well. And I got one more question after that, but I'd like to also share something that Country has said to me before, and that kind of stuck with me. I think I remember that one time, Country, you said you were in the military, right? Or you were um,
Yes, I was Air Force Security Forces. I did a lot of nuclear weapons security.
yeah, and then you said something about like you were when you would do training, you'd have like somebody with the name Warlord.
Yeah.
Is that
Yes, it wasn't a name, it was a call sign not given to any one specific person whenever I don't know how much of this I can talk about because
right?
classified information, but
Gotcha.
I'm it is unclassified that it was just a call sign to like an on scene commander, first one on scene, the warlord.
I feel like I've heard that before. I don't think that's classified
No,
necessarily.
that's
It's very
not
cool.
classified. That was more of a base, just specific, just call sign. But I thought it was funny when I first started making
Right.
calls to Warlord. It was a
It's
fucking
Warlord,
throwback.
Warlord.
It was a throwback to running recaps and exercises in the real world military. Just at the base that I was stationed at, where we would call Warlord this, so and so, make call outs to Warlord about what's going on, and it was a call sign.
That was really funny when you mentioned that. But I hope you guys enjoy this podcast.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that we should keep uh, rolling out these podcasts and also having more podcasts with other members as well?
Let's keep
I
it
Definitely.
like
going.
it.
Yeah.
I'll be on again if I'm able.
Yeah, no, it's been a really good time. Definitely, I would recommend it if anybody's been thinking about it. Do it. Just jump in. It's fun. I'll definitely do it again if I'm allowed.
Perfect. Definitely. Well, it's also an opportunity for, people that are, that are interested in listening or want to get to know more about what the regiment is or who we are and who you guys are as well. It's also an opportunity for y'all to put yourselves out there and to, be known in the regiment as well. And I'm definitely going to be adding more sessions to the podcast. Maybe we'll do one once a month or,
Okay.
twice a month or so, but I think this is definitely going to benefit. Right now, this episode is going to be available for everybody in the regiment, so it's not just going to be for podcasts for Patreon members at this point, but the next episode that comes out will be a lot more structured and we'll have more, there's going to be a lot more meat to go around and for, a lot of learning to take place, but also it's going to be something where Patreon members will have the benefit of coming on the podcast because all of you guys are Patreon members, and then also for individuals, for Patreon members to get access to these uh, podcast sessions as well first before anybody else. So again, I do appreciate you, Kenny, Bubba, Country, Lemon for being part of this. Great. I think we had a great talk, a great discussion. I'll definitely be uploading this podcast to the regiment very soon, so that way we can have listeners. Definitely have listeners chime in and just listen to our discussion. And I do appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And if there's anything that you guys want to share right now before we wrap up, anybody?
Thanks for having me on. That's cool.
Good time. Play game. Join Lux.
Yeah,
Yeah,
check
that
out
great.
Word Dribbles. Yeah.
Last resort's where it's at, man. I'm telling you.
Hell
Lux
yeah.
is great.
I'm gonna have Jeff. This is gonna be our official slogan. But join Lux.
You should
Be
tell
above the
Jeb.
rest.
Tell Jeb to get on the podcast. He's also a
Oh,
Patreon
I'm
member.
sure he will. Jeff's been really busy lately with
Yeah.
work stuff because he's still active duty, I believe.
Yeah, he's still active duty, correct.
Marine.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, once you guys are out there, get some get some people into our Patreon and get them to become part of our podcast so we can start having more of these.
Yeah, it's
And
another thing. Join the Patreon if you haven't already, and if you're interested in playing, because it's not like anyone's profiting off this. It's going
right,
straight to the
I
server,
joined the
and it's just
Patreon for literally no reason other than just to support the community. I
yeah,
don't even
love
really
that.
know what the benefits of the Patreon. I've never looked at it.
go to the server
You
costs,
should,
you know.
you should sometime. They're
Yeah,
there.
no, that's
I
the only reason
explain
I
it
joined
all.
is to support.
I
Yeah.
Did you
promote
haven't
it
gotten your
every week.
popsicle yet?
He
I have
hasn't.
not.
He probably doesn't want it.
A popsicle from Warlord. I'll think about it.
All right, fellas. Thank you very much.
Cool.
We'll see you in the game. Take care.
Yeah.
See you next time.
See ya.
Bye
Have a
bye.
good night.
See
Have a
you
good night.
guys.
I'll be on.
Sounds good.